Most people who work in construction are familiar with CSCS cards. It's the scheme that's used by the majority of contractors and clients to verify the competence of workers in construction and the wider built environment to carry out their jobs on site. By including a smart chip, these cards have the capability to be a really useful tool that can improve safety and productivity, and most importantly, cut costs too. I'm here to talk to Jez Haskins, Project Director at Vinci BAM Nuttall, who's working on projects to upgrade the London Underground system. This is part of a multi-billion-pound investment by Transport for London that's improving tracks, tunnels and stations across the Underground system. Jez has first-hand experience of how using CSCS smart cards on construction sites can improve site security and safety, cut costs and improve productivity. Jez, can I start by asking you what you're using CSCS smart cards for?
I mean, like a number of sites, the first thing we need to do is to identify people who are coming onto our sites and check that they hold the right card for the job they're going to be doing on the site. That's a pretty fundamental requirement for any construction project, and that's the first thing we do when people come to our project.
So what are the benefits for you?
Well, the first benefit, which is one we spotted from day one, was the administrative one. Up until then, we were having to photocopy cards, store a lot of paperwork. It took up an administrative time in dealing with that. Now, with the new cards, the new technology, someone comes to site, we put it into one of our readers, we can check their identity, check that the skills they hold are the skills we require, what we're wanting, and it goes straight onto the system. So no photocopying, no holding of paperwork, much quicker, big time saving.
And I understand you also use CSCS smart cards for recording which training courses, inductions and toolbox talks your workers have attended.
Yeah, indeed. And a fairly new development as well, which is another really good thing about the cards. Yeah, we previously, again, it was an administrative nightmare dealing with lots of paperwork. We would have to produce a piece of paper for every toolbox talks, every piece of training, and then individuals would have to tick it and sign it to say they'd had it, and then that would go on the system and be put onto the system manually. Now we just have a card, we preload onto someone's smartphone the course we're doing, and then when they've had it, they just swipe it against the individual's cards, and it goes straight onto the system. So very quick, very easy, very accurate.
And do you use CSCS smart cards for anything else?
Yeah, as with many other sites, we have a security system onto our site. Again, central London, West End, we have to control security, who comes into our site, and we use the cards for that. So it's a turnstile swipe system. When they come to the project, we read their card. Once they've had their induction, we tick a box, and that then gives them the access onto the site. And we can control that within the areas within the site as well, should we need to. So it enables us just to have one card for everybody. We don't have to have separate cards for access control and for training, etc.
So what would you say to anyone looking to use CSCS smart cards on their site?
Well, I think the first thing I'd say is the technology's out there, and therefore it's easy to use the technology. This is not something you've got to develop. It's not something which is still in testing. It's out there now, it's working. A lot of people will carry smartphones, which the technology can be put onto, and it has a big benefit not only in the time saving, the paperwork saving, the accuracy. All of those things are, real benefits to projects, and can bring all these aspects of security control, keeping training records, validating identity of people, all of that into one simple card. So a real big benefit.
Thank you, Jez. That was very interesting and fascinating to get an overview of the CSCS smart card from someone at the sharp end.